Tickets for Kids was founded a little over 2 decades ago by Susan Weiner. She was with her husband and they were seeing a performance and she looked around and said, you know what, there are seats empty here. And Susan has a big space in her heart for kids who don't have the resources that many of us take for granted. And so she said, what can we do about this? And started talking to friends in the community and different ticket donors, and Tickets for Kids grew out of that. And so what has happened in the 2 decades since then is we have this wonderful network of supporters who donate tickets. So they're individual ticket donors, but also institutional ticket donors, science museums, zoos, sports teams, etc. And they donate those tickets, and then we're able to distribute them through our partnership with social service agencies to at-risk and low-income kids so that they can have what Susan envisioned originally, which is access to the cultural resources of their community.
To sit next to a child who is watching, who are taking part in a symphony for the first time, who's watching Cinderella dance across the stage with such awe and excitement, and also helping them to see that they can do anything that they put their mind to see them just smile and just the sparkle in their eyes is that's priceless.
For so many kids, it may be that it's their first ball game experience or the first time they've stepped inside to a theater. And for some of them, that in and of itself is so impactful because it can spark an interest or whatever it might be. But also, many of the kids that we serve, a feeling of safety and security is a luxury that they don't have in their own neighborhood. So for many of them, it's simply the 2 hours to feel like they're in a safe space and that they can be a kid. And so of course, that's the impact we could have if we provide these opportunities directly to the kids, right? But by doing that through our partnership with social service agencies, 3,200 of whom we work with across the country, we're able to provide that experience in the context of a community that can then foster the interest that's sparked as a result of that experience.
As a fellow nonprofit, one of the values that we have is we're only one part of the solution, and so having Tickets for Kids as a partner with Presley Ridge really helps us to fulfill needs that maybe we can't fulfill on our own. I think it's important for you to feel connected and to really have a sense of belonging. And so for our kids and families, Tickets for Kids provides that opportunity. It helps them to connect with their community in a very different way, to belong, to feel like everyone else, to have opportunities that maybe they haven't had ever in their past. And it really brings people together and it really helps them to build their value in their community for themselves.
Most adolescents have a very narrow view of the world. Oftentimes the 4 or 5 block surroundings that they live in is what they believe they can be. Being at a ball game, interacting with all kinds of people, going to a history museum, these are things that our kids have never done. And it really helps to reshape their opinion of who they can be and gives them a much more multicultural view of the world.
We're at this point in the organization's history where we have such tremendous opportunity for growth. And as a result of the relationships we established here in Pittsburgh, we began to grow nationally. And we started looking into other cities and establishing those partnerships with the social service organizations. And we looked to say, well, what other opportunities are here? How can we help the local museums, the local zoos, and other institutions achieve their community engagement initiatives? And so that's how we sort of grew throughout the country. We've distributed tickets now in all 50 states, as well as throughout Canada in our history. Last year alone, we distributed tickets in 32 states.
I personally love working with Tickets for Kids. I believe that every child should have the opportunity to see live entertainment.
All of us as nonprofits are looking for ways in which to pull our resources together and to offer the greatest impact. Without these types of resources, then we have very disconnected kids and families, and we want people to be connected to their communities. And when you do that, it really helps support lifelong growth, and it helps really build positive relationships. So that's the importance for us.
A zip code into which a kid is born identifies so much of what they have access to. Quality health care, food, quality education, cultural resources. And so it's that cultural resource piece where we come in and try to make that child feel as though they belong within their own community, because that's what helps to make the person whole.
I just want to say thank you. The lives that you're touching by providing these opportunities, the impact is going to affect them for the rest of their life, and we're just so appreciative.